for me. I'm a man. I'm 40. I'm not a kid.
Alright, so everyone did this as a kid, right? You're in a store and you see those vending machines. Ooh, you want that drink or that candy bar. It's a highlight in a young kid's day. There's staples in communities everywhere. Lifelong family, friends, and friends of the podcast are here for you. Gymnasiums, rec centers, playgrounds, wherever. KL&P Vending Inc. Family owned, family run. Come to us when you need your vending done. That's where the Gamertime podcast is going. Call them. 717-371-3350. That's KL&P Vending Inc.
And we are back. The guys are back in black, and no, I don't mean the men in black. That's in theaters. I suggest you go see it, but no, we are back, and we are so happy to be here with you again on Gamertime Podcast. I am Big Al Mocious, and this is my partner Matthew Kelly. How you doing today, Matthew?
What's up, man? How's it going?
Good. It's been a while.
Yeah, I like your intro. That was pretty good.
Thank you.
Everybody, I really appreciate if you had an interest in the show. Thank you for hanging on. It's been a long time since we've done an episode. We'll try and pick it back up like we were before. We have a few ideas in mind going forward as well. I don't know, Big Al ran this by you a little bit earlier, but we would like to start. We're going to continue the Gamertime Shows podcast that you're listening to now, but I think that I had an interest in making kind of like a basketball or a football or even a baseball with the show, with Madden and with NBA 2K about commentating, maybe letting a game play out and just giving our opinions as the great the great announcers across the country do. I feel like that would be a lot of fun. And viewers, listeners, whatever, if you're interested, hit the like button, all that good stuff. And I think it'll be a lot of fun. What do you think?
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's just something out of the ordinary that people can do, and I'm sure not a lot of people do it because they're not the regular commentators, but to call a game and to give your opinions and stuff, I mean, and two classy guys like us, I mean that's got to be pretty entertaining.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be a lot of fun. So sticking to some of the basketball side of this, let's start with the NBA free agency that happened last month.
Oh my goodness.
Well, the beginning of this month. It was probably the biggest in NBA history, to be honest. I heard they compared it to the year that Shaq signed with the Lakers. I think it was like 95 or 94 or something like that.
Right. There's so many big names out there, and obviously Zion Williamson being the one on the draft, they say that this hype of Zion Williamson is the biggest since LeBron.
Yeah. It'll be very, very interesting because I also heard, I can't tell you who it was, but I heard somebody say on a podcast that when you try and think of a comparison for Zion Williams, you can't, because he plays so differently than anybody else. Like, for instance, if he, in 5 or 10 years, and he blows up and becomes a star, it's going to be the first we've ever seen somebody like him at a high level, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's going to be interesting to see what he can turn out to be.
Right.
So, what was it? Oh, free agency. This is going to be the 2019-2020 season coming up. Is going to be one of the most amazing seasons in God knows how long.
Correct.
It's like a completely open field since the biggest name in free agency, Kevin Durant, left the Golden State Warriors. Okay? And because of that, not only do the Warriors fall down a notch, but injuries to Klay Thompson and age and some of their other role players leaving, they've definitely fallen off. They've definitely fallen back a little bit. And it opens up the door for a couple of Western Conference teams, and the Eastern Conference is all in the mix as well.
Definitely.
This is going to be the most open field competition-wise in probably NBA history. They're calling it the year of the duos. Okay.
Duos.
Yes, the duos. Okay, so I'm going to name off probably. I think I'm probably going to get close to a dozen of just these big names who decided to team up with each other. Some via free agency, some via trade. Just some of the biggest moves over the last month.
Sure.
Okay. So
what do you got?
You've got the Western Conference. You've got the Los Angeles Clippers. They pulled off two big moves: a signing in free agency and a trade. They decided to ship out their best prospect in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with a crap ton of draft picks,
right?
And sent them to the Oklahoma City Thunder in exchange for Paul George.
Paul George.
Yes. And now the reason they did that was because there was one man in free agency who said, "I'm not coming to the Clippers without Paul George," and that's the first duo on the list, Kawhi Leonard
And Paul George together.
Exactly. I know.
That's a dangerous duo right there.
So the next one is right across the hall, so to speak, the Los Angeles Lakers, my team. Everybody knows that. We signed LeBron James last year, and we decided to ship out the farm and send them all to New Orleans to join Zion. And in return, we get Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis, the best big man in the league. Okay. It's one of the monumentally, all-time big duos in history.
Right.
Okay. Now, you keep going down the list. You got teams that got stronger, like Portland, who have a duo by themselves in C.J. McCollum and Damian Lillard.
Absolutely.
You've got I would say the next team would be the Utah Jazz. They formed a trade to get Mike Conley Jr. I think he's a junior. Yeah, from Memphis, and they lined up a nice little mini three-man All-Star group or so with Donovan Mitchell and who's the French guy, the big tall guy for the Jazz? Oh crap.
I know who you're talking about. Just
the shot blocker.
Not ringing a bell.
Anyways, big man, dominant. I think he won Defensive Player of the Year. Rudy Gobert.
Oh, Gobert.
Rudy Gobert. Yeah. In Utah, so they're going to be in the top standings, and then the Houston Rockets pulled off a trade. They sent out the veteran point guard Chris Paul and sent him also to the Oklahoma City Thunder in exchange for their star in Russell Westbrook. So now you've got Russell Westbrook and James Harden, who used to play on Oklahoma City.
Right.
Now they're playing together again in Houston.
They're back.
And they're back together. Two former MVPs.
Oh, boy.
Two dominant ball handlers.
They got some young talent on that team as well, so look out for them.
Yeah, Eric Gordon's still on the team. So that'll be interesting. Who else? San Antonio is always in the mix. We're not writing off completely Golden State.
Right.
Golden State with Steph Curry and Draymond Green are healthy. Klay Thompson is coming back probably somewhere, I think I heard March in 2020. And their big signing in free agency was D'Angelo Russell from Brooklyn.
Right. That's big.
So he's going to fill in for Klay Thompson while Klay heals back up. Who am I missing here in the West? Dallas. Dallas has a very young duo in Kristaps Porzingis and Luka Doncic.
Wow.
They're going to be good together for probably a really long time. Who else is in there? Like I said, Zion took a crap ton. The New Orleans Pelicans drafted Zion, drafted Jackson Hayes from
Texas big man.
They've drafted a couple of good future role players. They have probably, I would say, a dozen picks over the next 3 or 4 years.
That's incredible.
Yeah, they from the Clippers and the Lakers and all their and stuff like that.
Just building young talent, and I mean, look at the talent today compared to the old guys from the past, and now you look at the new generation. Having young is a lot better because a lot of these guys are getting old, and you want to build up the new talent.
I'm generally, when asked, I am generally the type of person who says I'd rather build with young players rather than grab a guy who's a superstar right now, but who's going to stop being a superstar within the next couple of years.
Okay.
That's why I never, as a Laker fan, a diehard Laker fan I am, that's why I didn't like the signing of LeBron James.
Right.
Because he's 33 years old. But
understandable.
But, it's still LeBron. He's still playing at a high level, so for now, I'm okay with it.
All right.
Okay, so the shift focus to the East now.
Yes.
It's still in this duo category, right?
Sure.
Chris Middleton of the Bucks
Mm-hmm.
got a huge payday, upwards of over $150 million, to stay with the Bucks and join the MVP Giannis, the Greek freak,
Right.
Antetokounmpo. They've got a great supporting cast in like Brook Lopez. Unfortunately, they couldn't match an offer sheet for the former Rookie of the Year. Oh man, this is bad podcasting if I just sit here and not remember stuff. Anyways, they had a backup point guard on their team who played really well. He was a Rookie of the Year a couple of years ago when it was a bad draft class, and he left and went to Indiana, and I cannot remember his name anymore. Anyways, so you move on to the next seed, probably the Philadelphia 76ers. Probably one of the most improved teams
Right.
of this last month. And with that being said, they lost a very good player. And
Yes,
they're
they
still
did.
probably one of the better teams after this month.
I'd say, and I saw that they just got Trey Burke.
Okay.
That'd be a nice piece to add to that puzzle there.
Yeah, definitely. So, we're sticking to the duo thing, you've got Ben Simmons with Joel Embiid. Half all-star duo now and half all-star duo in the future. They are perfectly primed, perfectly aged to start dominating right now
Mhm.
for the next 7 to 10 years. So, so then you've got Philly there. They've kept the small forward that they got from the Clippers last year,
Tobias Harris.
Yes. And they picked up probably one of the most underrated choices in free agency, in Al Horford
Right.
from Boston. He is going to be such a huge pickup on defense. It's going to be insane. Joel Embiid is going to be able to take nights off, pretty much.
Right.
He's going to be extremely healthy come playoff time, and that's vital for any team. Okay, so if we keep going on, you got Indiana, who has Victor Oladipo still. Eventually, he's coming back from that broken leg.
Right.
They've got a great supporting cast. They lost Sabonis, which is, he was a good player, so that kind of hurts.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, they got the backup point guard from Milwaukee, Malcolm Brogdon.
Brogdon.
Yes, that's who I was trying to think of. He went to Indiana, so that's another good pickup in free agency. We keep going down the line. The guy who left Philly, Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler.
He decided to go to the Miami Heat. How do you feel?
Well, I as much as he contributed on court for them in the last year, his presence will be missed as far as on ball. But I heard locker room type deals were going on that just didn't combine with everybody. So hate to lose him as a player, but I think he's gonna do well in Miami and team up with a great supporting cast of their own, and it sounds like he might be the lead guy down there in Miami.
Okay. The biggest probably acquisition, like I said, Kevin Durant leaving the Golden State Warriors, decided to go to the Brooklyn Nets. And there's a huge reason why he decided to go to the Brooklyn Nets, and that's because another big free agent in Kyrie Irving joins him in Brooklyn.
They're going to be together.
Yes.
Just the two of them.
Yes. Well, I mean, they still got a couple of good role players, but yeah, just the two of them. Jared Allen, I believe, is going to be a decent center in the league, so I think that he's a good role player that they drafted a couple of years ago. But yeah, they've got their two stars now. Now, Kevin Durant, everybody's saying that because of his injury in the finals, he's probably not even going to play at all next year. Okay. Which really sucks for a basketball fan, but you never know. He could sneak in come playoff time, and that could be a big eye-opener for a lot of other Eastern Conference teams.
Yeah.
So, you never know. But there are a couple of teams that have duos slash young talent that I feel could be great over the next year or two. And that is, let's start with Washington. Washington, number 1, with John Wall and Bradley Beal. Dwight Howard left. Well, he's a free agent. Who knows where he's going to go.
Right.
But Bradley Beal and John Wall together, I believe, a total of like 49 years of age.
Wow.
I think Bradley Beal is 24 and John Wall is like 25 or something.
Okay.
So very young still. Very great point guard and shooting guard combo. They remind me a lot of Portland. You know, Dame Lillard, John Wall, C.J. McCollum, Bradley Beal. I feel like they're almost identical. And another very young duo who just hasn't learned how to win yet is Phoenix.
Oh, yes.
And Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton, the number 1 pick from last year.
Right.
These guys, I mean, DeAndre Ayton looks incredible. I mean, he put up, what was it, like probably somewhere in the range of like 16 to 18 points with like 12 rebounds a game in his rookie season.
Okay.
And Devin Booker's just a scoring machine. He can shoot from anywhere. I feel like there's definitely pieces they need, and they need to grow together, and hopefully that can become a playoff team over the next couple of years.
I think they will.
Yeah.
Just give them time to develop, and they're gonna be special.
Yeah, I agree. And my last one is Atlanta.
The Hawks.
Yes, the Atlanta Hawks. I know this sounds like a bottom seller team because they were like one of the worst records in the league last year.
Okay.
But last year you drafted your point guard of the future in Trey Young. Yeah, that's his name. And they also snagged, I think it was in the first round, or maybe it was early second round, a good 3-point shooter in Kevin Huerter.
Yes.
Okay. And last year they drafted a power forward by the name of John Collins, who is also a very good low post inside scorer and a very good defender and rebounder. Now, the reason I bring this up and the reason I think that could be something is because, like you saw how I compared Portland to Washington.
Yeah. Because
of the positions and the two guys resembling the other two guys.
Correct.
This is the same thing, but one of them is much better than the other, and it's the Golden State Warriors and the Atlanta Hawks.
Wait. You're comparing the Golden State Warriors with this young Atlanta Hawks team. I mean, where's the comparison there? Like, you got Clay and Steph and Draymond Green. Like, those ballers. Like, how are you gonna go from one team to another like that? Where's the comparison?
Okay, so my comparison is that strictly playing style.
Okay.
That's it. I'm not saying that the talent level is even there yet.
Right.
I'm not saying they know how to win. Their coach, they don't have Steve Kerr in Atlanta. They need much more. They have a lot more work to do. But if you look at the framework, just by playing style, who's the closest person to Steph Curry in playing style? It's Trae Young. He plays exactly like Steph Curry.
All right, I'll give you that.
Constant 3-point shooter, ball handler, can pass just like Steph. Good. I think he's a decent ball handler. I think Steph's definitely got him on that part. And just by the looks and playing style of Klay Thompson and Kevin Huerter, they're like identical. Okay.
Could have been brothers.
Could have been brothers. 3-and-D guys. Like Klay Thompson is the epitome of a 3-and-D guy. He has taken that to a whole nother level because he's so good. But Kevin Huerter is also a 3-and-D, plays exactly like him. I'm probably pretty sure that they're the exact height and weight. They're like so close in that aspect. Now, the one thing that isn't even close, but the style is similar, is John Collins and Draymond Green. Okay, they have a similar style with defense and rebounding, but Draymond is probably 100 times better defender than John Collins is. Now, John Collins, like I said, is probably 21 years old? So, 20 years old maybe?
Mm-hmm.
He's got plenty of time to become that. All I'm saying is potential-wise. That's it.
Potential.
Trae Young, Steph Curry, Kevin Huerter, Klay Thompson, John Collins, Draymond Green. They all play the exact same way as their counterpart. And I feel that if they can just stay on that incline, you've got a exact same team.
You got a whole
exact same team. They just need. They picked up a good player in the draft. The guy from. Oh man, I'm bad today. Anyways, move on. So, what do you think? What do you think is the best duo in the league?
Well, if we're talking duos, I would have thought when this NBA free agency started that, Kevin Durant and Kawhi Leonard would play together, which I think would be...
I'm sorry. The guy I was just trying to think of was DeAndre Hunter from Virginia.
DeAndre Hunter.
They just selected him. He could be a very good defensive lockdown, another 3-and-D type of guy, probably a better defender. Anyways, go ahead.
Sure. Yeah, as you were saying, the duos, like I said, I think if started this free agency, I thought when I saw Kawhi was up there in conversation, whether he wanted to stay or go, and then you got Durant in there, if those guys played together, I would have said that was the best duo of this, would have been the best duo of this time.
Yeah.
But, that is definitely a tough one comparing it with all the guys, but I'm gonna go. As much as I don't really like this team, I'm gonna go best duo right now. I think is James Harden, Russell Westbrook.
Really?
Going back together again.
Better than Kawhi and Paul George and LeBron and Anthony Davis.
I mean, I like LeBron.
Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving.
That could be a scary one. That would probably be 2 or 3 for me as terms of rankings, but
right.
That's definitely going to be a dangerous duo. I just think that and you can't forget, and they've been doing it for years, but the duo from Golden State was for a while was the Splash Brothers, Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. So I could put even them in there for a little bit. But Klay's out, obviously, so it's going to be harder for him. But yeah, I think right now, as Westbrook still got it, and Harden, he can score, so score a lot actually, comparing his numbers last year.
Right.
But yeah, I'm going to stick with that duo in Houston.
Okay. All right, that's fine. All right, so I guess you have a bone to pick with me.
Yes, I do.
Some predictions that I've made in past conversations.
Yeah, so you want to go to the West and the East, and I would prefer you to start with the East.
Okay.
And if you want to read down your predictions for this coming up season.
For anybody who is wondering, there was a recent conversation that I had with a friend of ours, Cam, and Big Al, yours truly, about what our predictions are going into the next season of basketball. So we talked about the playoff standings, correct?
Right.
That's your bone that you want to pick,
right?
The playoff standings.
You rank the East and you rank the West of what your teams would be, and I looked it over, and I just think you're completely wrong on 2, 1 out of the East, 1 out of the West.
Okay.
So
here it is. The number 1 seed in the Western Conference, I believe, will be the Los Angeles Clippers.
Okay.
The number 2 seed will be the Los Angeles Lakers. The number 3 seed will be the Portland Trailblazers. The number 4 seed, the Utah Jazz. The number 5 seed, the Golden State Warriors. The number 6 seed, the Houston Rockets. The number 7 seed, the Denver Nuggets. And the number 8 seed, the San Antonio Spurs. Now, do you want me to read the East, or do you want to pick that bone in the West first?
Yeah, let me start with this bone here.
He's steaming, folks.
First of all, you said the fourth was the Utah Jazz, correct?
I did.
And when you were picking these, like you were smoking what? Weed? Because
so you don't think the Jazz are gonna be any good?
Listen, I like your picks.
Okay.
I like that list, but I'm not adding the Utah Jazz. Not just for they're not even gonna make the playoffs.
Whoa! You understand what all these NBA writers and all these big personalities that you hear every day? All these people are picking this team to potentially have the best record in the West.
Best record.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're not picking them to win the West
Correct.
in the playoffs, but have the best record going into the playoffs.
Wow, I mean,
Home court advantage.
No,
Yeah.
oh no, I'm sorry.
You don't even think they're going to make the playoffs.
Playoffs.
Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell, and Mike Conley.
Keep going. I'd love to hear more argument
Joe
here.
Ingles.
I mean,
look, I personally don't care that much for the Jazz, so I can't sit here and pump them up as much as I could some other teams.
Right.
But they're definitely a playoff team.
Well, and obviously,
I'm sorry.
Obviously, one's opinion. But let me explain to you why they're not going to be in there and who would replace them.
Okay.
And honestly, this team that I'm going to replace them with, out of that list, they're they might not be like the four that you have Utah ranked, but I give them 7th or 8th seed. Probably the 8th seed might make the last one. But the newly improved New Orleans Pelicans.
What? Big Al.
Well, are you serious? I mean, look, you got the number one hyped guy from the NBA draft, Zion Williamson. You know he's a freak.
A rookie.
Yes, a rookie.
A rookie. Hasn't played a minute in the NBA yet.
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned rookies because, you still had the 3rd overall pick from a while ago, Joel Okafor, still on that team as a veteran leadership. You gave
a backup.
Okay, fine. I'll give you a backup because they got the guy from Texas as well.
Yeah.
Another rookie. Hey, high on rookies.
Right.
But
the Lakers young core.
We should also call them the Pelicans / Lakers because they just got Ingram, they got Hart, and you gotta have Hart. You all know that.
Yeah.
And they also got Mr. Big Baller Brand Lonzo Ball.
Yes.
Along with his crazy
kept,
father.
They kept Drew Holiday, former Sixer.
Drew Holiday.
Yeah.
Speaking of former Sixers, did you know
Here we go.
Speaking of former Sixers, do you know that they also added in free agency? They also added the hot shot shooter JJ Redick. JJ Redick, and you want to talk about Utah? How about Utah did Derek Favors a favor and sent him to the New Orleans Pelicans? I mean, come on, that team.
Okay, that's it.
You gotta
Look, they probably have one of the best GMs in the league, David Griffin, and he's mastermind behind all of these moves,
Correct.
all of these free agents, all of these trades, everything. He's done a great job over the last 6 weeks. Okay, They're not a playoff team. They're just not. They're too young. Okay, their veteran leadership is fine. They've got some veterans there. And that's great mix with the young guys, but their veterans aren't strong enough to get them into the playoffs. Okay.
I mean, I do see your point there. It just
I don't think that I like the Pelicans. I like the roster, and of course I like them because they're former Lakers, most of them. But I just don't think that they're a playoff team yet. Maybe next year.
And I get that point, and I know some of these guys from Utah, as you're saying, are pretty decent players with Mitchell and them, and I just don't think they have enough. I don't think they have enough to go back, but obviously we'll see. And you were speaking of owners, that you're gonna make my whole point for the East now. If you want to talk about ownership. So.
All right, so let me run through the East then.
Sure.
Okay. So the East standings, I have the number 1 seed, come playoff time to be the Philadelphia 76ers.
Town of brotherly love, baby.
Yeah. The number 2 seed, the Milwaukee Bucks.
Okay. Good squad.
Okay, so I had a... You know what? I'm not so sure about this because I thought that a deal might happen, and I don't think it will. So let me see if I can do this on the fly here. I'll just bump this next team down a couple of seeds. So I'll have the number 3 seed. I'll have the number 3 seed, the Boston Celtics.
Okay.
The number 4 seed, the Brooklyn Nets.
Brooklyn.
The number 5 seed, the Miami Heat. The number 6 seed, the Indiana Pacers. The number 7 seed, the Toronto Raptors, the defending champs. And then I have a very strong sleeper that we just talked about. And that's the 2.0 Golden State Warriors, the Atlanta Hawks.
Wow.
As a sleeper in the number 8 seed. We can move on from that too, because I have the very next line is my finals prediction. But let's see what bone you have here.
Okay.
For your Eastern Conference bone to pick.
You know, I like almost everything you just said on there.
He's still fuming, folks.
But the Indiana Pacers?
Yes.
Oh, come on, man! You must have been smoking there the same day you were smoking the West. Like,
okay, so look.
Please explain the Indiana Pacers to me.
Okay.
Please tell me what they have.
Okay.
I don't know.
Miles Turner.
Okay.
Who is an incredible shot blocker.
Who?
Miles Turner.
Oh, okay.
He's a great shot blocker. Okay. He's a great shot blocker, great rebounder, great defender. Oh. He is, if you're sticking with the Pacers theme, he is like a 2.0 of Roy Hibbert in their great run that they had a couple of years ago. They, like I said, Victor Oladipo, who is injured, and they got the signing from Milwaukee in Malcolm Brogdon. But my whole point depends on Victor Oladipo. Okay, if he doesn't come back until like March, they're probably not making the playoffs. Okay, he needs to come back in like December or January. Okay,
right.
If he comes back literal mid-season with plenty of time, let's say they're like within 5 games of the playoffs or in the playoff standings at that point, then yeah, they're. What did I have him at? I have him at the 6th seed.
6. Oof.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's fine. What's wrong with that?
I mean, first of all, look, that's point number 1. Number 2, the Boston Celtics are number 3.
Yeah, correct.
I'm gonna switch the 2 around with Milwaukee. I'm gonna put Boston up at 2.
Boston up at 2. They lost Horford.
Yes.
And they lost Kyrie and picked up Kemba.
Correct.
I didn't even mention that in our free agency talk. Kemba Walker signed with the Boston Celtics.
Correct.
Anyways.
And you mentioned that they were going to be 3. Well, I just think they could be a little bit better adding some other pieces. I think they could be a little bit better than Milwaukee, but so I'll just swip the 2. Milwaukee's still a good team. I'll give them that.
Okay.
But the Indiana Pacers?
Yeah, man. Because they were the number 3 seed last year before Oladipo got hurt. I
mean, you're giving Matt. You see what you're doing here. You're giving me guys that are just decent. Okay, they're not superstars. I mean, I just once again.
Well, there's only so many superstars in the league.
I understand that. Folks, I understand that.
Okay, so any other team, you got the Raptors and the Hawks that I put behind them.
That's right. Shift them up. But I am shifting the.
But they don't have superstars either.
Okay. But listen, I'm going to take the Pacers out of this equation, and also say they're not going to make the playoffs. To my 8th seeded Charlotte.
Oh my God!
You want to talk about ownership?
Oh, stop! He can't play anymore.
I don't care.
Those dreams are over.
Smart.
No, he's not.
The best player in the NBA history, hands down. You know it to be true.
Yes,
don't lie.
Of course. It's Michael Jordan.
Correct. Who? Michael Jordan. Michael B. freaking Jordan.
He sits on the end of the bench with his pom-poms and he gets up every once in a while and gives a little clappy clapper or something like that.
Hey, he got to support his team somehow. But so this time he's going to do it in free agency. I mean, come on, draft free agency. This guy's smart. He knows the game very well. He knows how to draft.
You're saying that the Charlotte Hornets are going to get the 8th seed. Is that what you're saying?
I am.
Not any higher, right?
No,
Okay,
I'll give him a playoff berth.
What tells you in your crazy little mind that the Charlotte Hornets are going to make the 8th seed?
Okay, first of all, I just told you about the ownership. I mean, that right there.
He's not putting points on the scoreboard.
But he ruined the States, baby.
That doesn't matter.
I mean, he's brought in so many great talents so far.
They have no one on their team. No one. Nobody.
Not even.
If you're talking about superstars in my theory with the Indiana Pacers, and you're going to tell me that the Hornets?
Wait a minute.
They've got nobody.
Oh, so I guess Terry Rozier is nobody. Terry Rozier, the guy from Boston. Hey, Terry. You got Terry. You got a whole bunch of rookies that know how to ball.
Miles Bridges, I'll give you that. He's athletic. That's it.
Yes. And speaking of rookies, I forgot to mention in the West, who also New Orleans has, the guy from Virginia Tech, Alexander. You know, he's going to add spark to that team as well.
Shea Gilgeous's cousin?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
He's going to add spark to that Pelicans 8th seeded team as well.
All right. Well, you've lost your marbles.
So you got Cody Zeller.
Cody Zeller.
Come on, the man's a baller. Come on, he's 7 foot, for God's sake.
Cody Zeller.
You got Cody Zeller. You got Malik Monk, who can shoot. Superstar out of Kentucky. You got Batnum. You got just all these great superstars that Michael B. freaking Jordan's put together. That's gonna run the show.
Look here. There's a man who was also a Finals MVP, an All-Star, and an incredible legend.
Yes.
Who was on the Hornets. And he decided he couldn't take it anymore, and he retired. Do you know who that is?
Enlighten me.
Tony Parker.
Tony Parker
could not stand. He probably would be starting this year if he plays.
Absolutely.
Because Kemba is out.
Yes.
Because Kemba went to Boston, Tony Parker would be the starting point guard right now for the Charlotte Hornets if he did not retire. Nah, retire. I'd rather retire. That's what he said.
Well, I mean, he's been in the league for so long, and he's played on many different teams. But hey,
the Hornets suck.
You're gonna eat those words. I'm telling you. Your Pacers and your Utah Jazz, the Music Men or whatever they're called.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have listened to the very first episode of this podcast, you will know that me and Alex Smushes here have placed a bet